This episode is brought to you by Paramount Plus. Ewan McGregor stars as Count Alexander Rostov in A Gentleman in Moscow, the new limited series based on the best-selling novel. Stream it with the Paramount Plus with Showtime plan. Visit ParamountPlus.com to try it free.
Okay, so I know y'all probably looking like, this ain't your couch? Right. But if you would have seen my reel, then you would know that I am at Official Sports Bar and Grill about to do Miss Tiffany's interview. So I'm super excited. It is Prison Talk, y'all. It's the Couch Chronicles and it ain't no fucking limits. If you watching on YouTube or if you watching on Facebook, the music that is playing does not belong to me. And I will put it in the description as well. But I am at a sports bar, and I cannot control the music right now. So, we will be doing the interview still. So just know that this music does not belong to me. Don't mute shit. It's the Couch Chronicles, and it ain't no fucking limits. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure that you share the live. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you hit the like button. I'm going to go ahead and share the live as well. Let me share the live. It's almost kind of weird not hearing my music in the background because I want to be like, I appreciate the money because I grew up in the struggle. Appreciate the hood because it taught me how to hustle. You know what I'm saying? Okay. While Miss Tiffany is handling some business, I'm going to be sharing the live. It is early. I know y'all used to me going live at 8 Central Time, but I did not want to interfere with her job schedule. So I decided to bring the couch to her job before her job started. But she did get a couple customers. But she will be back. I got the questions ready. This is probably the first Prison Talk that I actually wrote down questions, because this is serious. If y'all don't already know, I got Miss Tiffany. She used to be a nurse at Mabel Bassett Correctional Center. If you have any questions, all you got to do is drop a question. You can ask her anything. It's the Couch Chronicles, and it ain't no fucking limits. Period. Hey. I'm just sharing a live. Again, the music that's playing does not belong to me. So don't mute shit. For real, because they be playing too much.
You're like, we didn't pick that song.
Right. But they gotta understand when you're in a public place, you can't control. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is a workout, I hope you know. I'm doing this because
There's no way to like send it to all at one
no
time?
No, it tells you that it is, but then it won't start your live, and then girl, you be sitting there looking dumb. It be time to go on and it won't even start. I did that before. I was like, If y'all just now tuning in, if you watching on Facebook, make sure that you share the live. If you watching on YouTube, make sure that you hit the like button. Y'all know it's Prison Talk this whole week. Actually, this week is already over. It's the last day of Prison Talk. If you have any questions, you can drop a question. All right. I wish it was a way I can share it to my group too. But I can share it after. Because I do get people that come back and rewatch. Make sure you follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify, Pandora, THA Couch on Facebook and TikTok, and my main Instagram and YouTube, which is tharealjanell. And also make sure that you follow Officials Sports Bar and Grill on all social media. Period. If you have a main page, make sure you shout your main page out too, because I couldn't find it. Hey, Harlem. Y'all, we're going to go ahead and get started. Like I said, make sure you follow everybody on all social media. Anybody that touches the couch, it's all about love, support, good vibes, and positive energy. And we just trying to spread that. Also, y'all know this is the therapy that you never knew you needed.
Right?
It is. I love the couch. I love the couch. I love to get to know people. And I'm an energy person, so when I get to feeling their energy in person, it's different than just being like over the live.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind being over the live. I love it. But it also feels, hey, look.
Hey, Brittany.
Well, y'all know it's prison talk. We about to get started. Y'all ready? I have some questions that some people dropped in the inbox. So
You got a whole page.
Yeah. I got a whole page of questions. So my first question is, one, Tiffany, how did you get involved with DOC?
I knew agency, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I started there through agency, and they sent me to Mabel Bassett a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And then the nurse manager just asked if I wanted to come on full time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I got started. They were doing 12-hour shifts, and it wasn't too far from home. And so I was like, okay. In my whole nursing career, that's one thing I haven't tried yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna just go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Tried as far as like working at a prison, or
Right. Because I feel like I've done every type of nursing except for pediatrics.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was one thing I hadn't done was DOC, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try it.
What do you think the reason was that they asked you? Do you think it was at a sudden time, like where it was like all of a sudden that they asked you, or?
Sometimes, when you're there and you have a good work ethic, or they see, you come to work on time, or
Mm-hmm.
you're there and you seem to get along with everybody, they'll offer you, sometimes they'll offer you a contract, for so many weeks, or sometimes they may offer you just a straight out position, because, for them it's cheaper to pay you to work there than it is to pay through agency. So if they can pull you in and work there for them for DOC, then agency, that's exactly what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just because they want to get you at a cheaper rate.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what made you actually say yes? Like, instead of, besides the fact that you've never worked there before, as far as like, was you making more as a going through the agency, or?
Definitely.
Okay.
It's almost double the amount of money, but it was something that I wanted
Shout out
to try.
to Mac June, we see you. Hey.
It was something that I want to try. I had never done DOC before. Not here in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
I had done DOC for a little while in the state of Georgia, but that was like on a local level.
Mm-hmm.
So, but not at a women's DOC. I hadn't done that before at all. So I'm always up for a challenge to say, okay, let me see if I can do this. So that's kind of how it started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you first started working there, what was your biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge was knowing you couldn't just go any certain where. You can go this far, you gotta wait, you gotta have a key. This far, you gotta have a key. And you gotta wait. It's always a waiting for officer, or waiting for somebody to come let you in.
Even for staff?
Even for staff. So it's just, you can't just necessarily go anywhere.
No, this isn't Thunder Rita. Oh wait, yes it is.
Yes, it is.
I'm tripping.
Made by yours truly.
Wait, but what's so funny is somebody follows me named Thunder Rita, and I was thinking, wait, until I seen whose name it was, I was like, oh wait, this one is kind of strong.
It's strong, yeah. Okay.
I'm talking about, this ain't no Thunder Rita. Yeah,
that's
Tiffany,
a good Thunder
Tiffany
Rita.
did her thing
Yeah, that's
on
a
this
good Thunder
one,
Rita.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but that was probably just learning. It's a lot to learn at first when you haven't been in that type of setting. Mm-hmm. So, you have to pay attention. Mm-hmm. You have to always pay attention to your surroundings. Mm-hmm. And that's something that you're not necessarily a nurse on the other side, or a private side. You're not used to having to do that. Mm-hmm. I think what helped me is I did almost 8 years in psych for the VA.
Okay.
So I did veteran psych, and I think that helped. Mm-hmm. Because you're used to always watching your surroundings because
Right.
you have to. So I think for that part, it made it easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it made it easier.
Was it scary a little bit, or?
Yeah. So my training, I tell you a story. My training, it wasn't very many of us, maybe 4 or 5 of us that was in there. And during the training, you know, they walk you around and show you the yard. They show you where you're going to be walking, where you're going to be going. And I was like, okay, so you're walking that long walk by yourself? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so nobody's going with you. And you know, the trainer, they're like, yes. I'm like, okay, well, you don't get no weapon. They're like, no, ma'am, absolutely not. And I'm just like, okay. I said, well, what if they're out on the yard? I said, we just supposed to just pass by. And they're like, well, they'll know to clear the pathway. And I'm like, well, what if they don't? You know,
right.
I mean, I was nervous. I was like, well, I don't get a rape whistle. I don't get nothing.
Right.
I was like, how do you signal that you need help?
Right.
And they're like, you know,
So
like,
that was
watching.
Your biggest fear was maybe somebody kind of like attacking you while you
Yeah,
were...
because you don't know. You really don't know.
Yeah.
At first, you're just nervous, but you really don't know. And it doesn't take long for you to really understand, like, you're probably the most respected person.
Right.
But you don't know that going in. You're
Right.
just like, okay, I'm going to just do these 12 hours. You know, and then I'm going to go home. But, you know, once you're there and you get to meet
Seriously,
the
Nicole.
people, you have a totally different outlook.
Right.
You do.
Right.
You have a totally different outlook because they're people. They're people.
That's true. It says, thank you for caring for our veterans. Mental health and physical health is very important.
Thank you. It is. It can take a toll on you if you let it, but you know, if you can always remember that they're not just somebody that's in a cell.
Right.
They're people. They have emotions. They have everything just like somebody on the outside would. You know, and you have to care for them that way.
Right.
Even though it can be deceitful. They can totally be deceiving you, but you know, that's what you learn from doing DOC nursing, doing regular nursing, because some of them are truly sick, some of them are truly going through it, and then some of them are just wanting to get to medical because I have a bed to myself and I have my own TV, and you know, somebody's gonna bring my meal right there,
right.
and you know, because they're catered to in medical, you know, and so you learn everybody really wants to go to medical,
right.
So but it's a learning. It's a learning. I feel like if you treat them once you learn and learn their routine, because then, you know, all of us is in a routine. You're in a routine with them.
That is so true.
Whether it's blood sugar checks, whether it's eating, whether it's meds, I mean, it's all a routine. And once they're comfortable with you, then, you know, they'll have your back just as much as a guard will.
That's true.
They're not going to let anybody bother you.
So you thought the guards had your back?
I think that's a touch and go. I think it's touch and go. I think it depends on who you know. Okay. And I didn't know anybody going in. I didn't, you know anybody from the outside world. So it was really a getting to know everybody. And I met some really great officers. And I met some that, not that it was a bad experience, but they're just there. They just do their job, and they really don't intertwine. You know what I mean? Really don't mingle, really don't talk, and you know, you're just like, okay.
Those are probably the ones that's abusing the women. The fuck.
And you just never know. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you just never know. It's a lot of places where people can be ducked off. You know, or you know, you just learn. You learn your surroundings. You learn that this camera is facing this way, or this camera is only facing this hallway. And you learn all that. It doesn't take long. Right. You know, so I can imagine. You know, I can only imagine. But you know, a lot of that stuff, I feel like the prisoners, they're not making it up. They're not making up everything. You know, I know some are, but some aren't. They're not making it up. Right. You know,
we can't make this shit up. Y'all already know.
Man, you know, I think about even Mabel Bassett. Man, you think about Oklahoma Sonoma County, and it makes me cringe. It makes me cringe because there's not that many deaths. There should not be that many deaths
At all.
And you're like, what is going on? It's like you said, like a pocket. Is somebody paying attention? You know, so it's different.
That's why, again, y'all, we do prison talk every month. I say we because I have multiple personalities. If y'all haven't met Pretty Eyes, her new single Shit Talk just dropped, but that's another subject. But I do prison talk every month because I want to keep the word out. Not only that, is we also need to start speaking up on the ones who lost their lives in prison and out of prison.
Yes.
Speak their name like they Breonna Taylor. Speak their name like they George Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Hey. I'm just saying, y'all, it's the Couch Chronicles and there ain't no fucking limits. Make sure you follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify, Pandora, THA Couch on Facebook and TikTok. My main Instagram and YouTube, which is tharealjanell. And also make sure you follow Official Sports Bar and Grill. Yes. We got Miss Tiffany on the motherfucking couch, off the couch, of course. And it's prison
out of the
talk.
Kitchen.
Yeah, right. Out the kitchen. Yes, and out the kitchen. And the reason why we have her on here is because she actually used to work at Mabel Bassett. Now, how long was you working there?
Probably maybe 4 or 5 months. 4 or 5 months. Almost like right before Christmas.
Right. Okay.
But in that time, you see a lot, you do a lot.
Oh yeah, that's like a lifetime.
It is. It is, and I feel like my greatest thing that I accomplished at Mabel Bassett, and I still hold it, is we delivered a whole baby without a doctor, and I just was like she was our baby, because we had her right there,
right. And where'd y'all have
we
her
couldn't
at?
stop. We couldn't in
one of the
in one of the rooms, one of the exam rooms. It was one of her. I think it was maybe her third or fourth, and she had just came back from OU Medical. Literally,
do you remember her name?
I don't remember her name. Sweet girl. She had just came back from her check, and she was like, Nurse Bryant, can I go to the bathroom? And they were waiting to go back. And she came out that bathroom, and she was like, Nurse Bryant, she was like, my water broke. And I was like, I was like,
oh wow.
But it was so surreal. We got her in the room, and the doctors, we called doctor, and they were wanting us to give her something to try to stop it so we could get her back to stop, try to slow down her contractions so we could get her back to OU. And I was like,
wait, how long does that drive?
Mabel Bassett to OU? It's probably a good while, but she wasn't gonna make it.
Right.
And so she told us, she was like, Nurse Bryant, I know how much time I got. She said, I don't even have it. She said, I don't have about 30 minutes. She said, it's going to take about 30 minutes. And by the time we got her up there and was on the phone with the doctor, there was no stopping it because we could see the head. And I was like, well, Doc, it's coming.
Oh, shit.
I mean, but it was so, I guess what's different, you have to call the warden and get permission for the ambulance to come on the yard. You have to do a lot
y'all would have never had time to take her anyway.
No, she wouldn't have made it. But I feel like it was a blessing because I know how that is, or I learned how that is once you have a baby and then you have to get a family member to come doing all that at OU. But because it took a minute, she got a chance to bond. She got a chance to, we didn't take the baby. The baby laid on her, and she got a chance to bond and have that moment with the baby because we were waiting for the ambulance to come on the yard. So it just delayed. It was like we delayed calling, we delayed all of it.
Right.
We delayed all of it so she could have time.
Yes.
Because she wouldn't have got that time if she went to OU. And so for
us,
yeah,
wouldn't she have been cuffed?
Yeah, and so it was no time. It was no time to cuff. It was no. She was regular. She was a regular person, and I think all of us, probably it was 3 of us nurses. I think we were all in tears, like we were just so overjoyed,
right?
To give her that moment, and she didn't have to be, handcuffed and handcuffed to the bed and all that. She didn't.
And y'all made an executive decision, we're not calling anybody. That is fucking dope.
So it was cool. It was cool. She was able to bring us back a picture, and we had the picture of she had a girl. We had a picture of the baby in the medical. It was cool. It was a cool thing.
Damn, that
but
is so
I think
fucking
about all
dope.
my years of nursing, I've never delivered a baby.
Right, until
Ever.
then.
Until then, yeah.
That is
it
so
was cool.
fucking
It was
dope,
cool.
yo. That's beautiful. I almost would start crying, but
Yeah, it was
y'all
cool.
see my lashes is different colors. I'm not
Yeah,
about to
but
play
it was
with y'all
cool.
today.
That was cool.
That's definitely dope.
Yeah.
Now, this is a question that I got inboxed. Did y'all get paid to test drugs on inmates?
You mean like separately get paid?
Or did y'all ever get approached by pharmacy companies? Or
No, not the time that I was there. No, I never seen a pharmacy rep or anything like that.
Okay.
Not in that setting. I mean, we've had to test. Now I've ran a test to see if they were positive for anything else other than what they were taking.
Okay, right.
Man, they ain't paying DLC. They're not paying nothing.
right, nothing
They're
extra.
not paying nothing extra.
They said,
nothing.
y'all come in. They said, we don't even want to pay
No,
y'all
they're like
to be through an
right.
agency.
That's part of your duty.
Matter of fact, come over here. We
Right. Right. They don't want to pay that agency pay. You can forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, what was the big difference in the agency pay and then their pay?
Probably double. At least double. I mean, me being an LPN, and I'm probably at the top because I've been an LPN so long. I've been an LPN. I'm going on 24 years. So even at the top, it won't compete to agency. Because DOC is state. And so even though it's state, even though it's like considered a state job, state jobs don't pay as far as a private sector. Like I would make more money if I went to a regular nursing facility than I would working at DOC. Yeah.
Damn.
It's not much money.
Damn near minimum wage.
I would say you have to have a passion for that because it's so, like I was telling you before, it's so different nursing. You have to find a way to still be empathetic, to still be sympathetic, but to know that there's a potential that they're not telling you the truth.
Right. That's actually one of the next questions. Is seriously, how many inmates did you believe while working there?
That's probably about 50-50. It's probably about 50-50. I mean, but you get to learn them and you get to know,
right?
Because you're with them you're with them on your rotation because we did 12-hour shifts.
Right.
So you did the same days every week. So they knew when you were coming. They knew you were going to be there. I know Nurse Bryant is coming, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I know that's going to be her.
Pause. Nikki, this is Nurse Bryant. She used to work at Maple Bassett. And I just been asking some questions. You can go back and rewatch it, but we actually just started, so you're doing good. You're doing good.
So, I mean, probably the most difficult one was I had a lady that was having a seizure, but she really wasn't having a seizure. And that's hard to judge because everything in you is like you have to nurse totally different.
Now let me ask you this: How did y'all figure she wasn't having a seizure?
We had to do a drug test before you give her medicine. That's how you know. And so when it pops positive for other things other than what
so
she's
because
taking,
they told me that I was lying when I was having seizures, but I've never had seizures before in my life.
Wow.
But they also didn't tell me that I had lupus. When they drug tested me, they did drug test me, but they never came back and gave me my results or anything. It was like, oh, well, you wasn't on drugs. Okay, but you still didn't tell me why I was having seizures.
Yeah. And the thing about it is they have specialists or can bring specialists in. I mean, that's what I learned. I learned like everything in medical. They have there's a way to do everything.
So how do you get a specialist to come up there? Because I don't think I've ever seen a specialist come up there when I was there.
I think it just depends on how severe what you have going on. That's what I think. Worst scary. Yeah. Oh, my scariest moment was a inmate that had put so much paraphernalia in her private that I couldn't get it out.
That's actually one of my questions. It's kind of like that, but it's one of my questions is
that was scary for me.
Oh, and look how it jumped out. Is it illegal to insert your finger inside of someone to get contraband?
You know what? I'm not even. I think you have to be so careful with that. You can't just like hold them down and go in there and do that. Like you have to have, like, there was a lot of steps to that. We had to have the doctor there, the warden had to be there, it had to be on camera. It was a lot of steps to make sure that we were doing whatever the regulation is.
So you can't stick your finger in a vagina of a DOC inmate or a butthole of a male.
You know, I don't know about a male because I haven't been at a male. But a female, I'm gonna say yes, it's legal, because otherwise I don't think the warden would have let us do it. But the warden had to be there. Like we had to call the warden. The warden had to come. We had to have so many officers. I mean, like, it was a whole step before we could even do it. We had to have a doctor there. Like, we had to have all this in place before we could even start. So, and it wasn't just that, like, because the doctor ended up having to do it because she had put it so far up there till you wouldn't have been able to get it. So she had to use something, you know, like similar to like what you would use like for a baby to pull. I mean, that's how far. But I know. And so after that incident, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this no more. That was one of my incidents, like, because she was saying those things like, you can't do this, you can't.
Yes, because
you can't do
let me
this.
see.
And it was like,
it says the contraband would end up in there and cause more problems. So I would assume that they would have to watch until said.
Absolutely.
Now,
I agree with her, because of the things that were in there. It would be one thing like if it was tissue or if it was, but the things that were there was medically harmful to her. So yes, I think, I think
I think what it was is she would have rather died than to get a class X.
Probably.
I mean, because shoving it up that far, it's like, I'm gonna die unless I get it removed, and if I get it removed, I'm getting a misconduct.
Absolutely. So I think you're right. For that, we didn't have a choice. It was like we got to go get it. And then when it got
so y'all felt like y'all was protecting her.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It's not something like you could have just like let it dissolve. No, we're talking about.
I almost choked on my damn drink.
You would choke if I would have told you what was up there. You would have been like, no.
I know, we need to know.
No. So it was. So she had taken her medicine. I guess that she didn't take it for the day, and she had it wadded up. She had it.
So it must have been like rods or something.
So she had it in napkins, and she had it wadded up. So that was all the way up in there. She had a pair of hoop earrings. I promise you, I can't make this up. It was a pair.
I believe you, because hoop earrings on the yard that's a grip, and once you get them, you know what I'm saying, and you get to go like this, and then them little hoop earrings, and then they was gold. Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So the hoop earrings, and she had a spork.
Oh, which kind though? Is it the one that they have?
You know,
in the
kind like you have.
you
know the kind like you have at Long John Silver that you eat the coleslaw with. Yeah, no, that would have been harmful.
Oh.
Yeah. And so it was more harmful.
Damn, that part wasn't sticking out like a little what?
But I don't know how she. I mean, I guess you can go as far as you can go. She said,
"You know what? I'm gonna get this."
But it was. But you know what it was I was the warden, because you know they're filming you, and the warden's like, "Can you get it?" And I was like, "I can't get it all." And the warden's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "It's too far up there. I can't get it all." So that's why we ended up having to call the doctor to come on.
Right, because she must have wanted to get fisted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was just like, I'm not
fisted. Y'all hear me?
I just don't.
That's a good drink, y'all.
That's a.
Brittany, what did you say? You came up with this drink? Hold on, Brittany. I could have sworn I seen that. Cause I gotta give you a shout out if you came up.
Yeah, she made some.
Yes.
She we have a couple that she made.
Right.
For us, and then there's a couple that we made since.
Trust me, she came to the couch one time and made a drink.
I made 3. Yeah, I created 3.
She came to the couch and made me a little lemon drop, and it made me drop. But she made it with my favorite liquor. Oh yeah, she came and did a little shake. You know what I mean? I was asking her, girl, have you ever lit something on fire and did a little with the titties? She was like, nah, but hopefully she learning now. Yeah, it's the Couch Chronicles and it ain't no fucking limits. It is prison talk. I got more than a few more questions. Okay. Yes. Was being a nurse different in the world? And when I say in the world, I mean like as a civilian than in prison?
Yes.
Okay. In what ways?
Very different because in the world you're taught to when a patient tells you that they're in pain, you have to believe them. You have to. It doesn't matter whether they're in pain or not. You are taught that is the 5th vital sign. Pain is the 5th vital sign. And so I'm taught to believe you whether you're really in pain or not. But when you're in there, it's totally different because you don't know if they're just saying that because they're wanting something or are they really in pain?
Right.
And so, I think for a while I couldn't necessarily go on my own judgment. I would have to use a senior nurse to be like, okay, you know them better than I do. Are they really? And but then what's crazy about that is they cannot be honest either. You know what I'm saying? Like the nurse could just be, no, she ain't really hurting. But what if she is? So what you have to do is you really have to take time to get to know them for yourself.
Now, was that a DOC thing? Did they make you guys, did they instill that in you to not believe the inmates? Or was it the other nurses thinking that they putting you up on game?
I think both. Because you learn, hey, you have to learn, hey, you're gonna watch this, watch for this, watch for this, watch for this, watch for these signs.
Right.
And so it's constant learning. But I think it's really learning the inmates. Because when you're on the outside, you can tell if someone's high or if someone's tweaky. Or someone's, on something. You are on something,
right?
And so, but there it's different, and you have to learn. You have to learn what the contrabands are, so you know what to look for. Or if I know that you're telling me you're hurting, but your eyes are dilated. Which means you're probably not in pain, which means you've taken something that you're not supposed to. And so you just learn. You have to learn as a nurse what to look for, because you have to look for totally different things.
Has anybody ever been in pain and their eyes dilated from being in pain? Is that possible?
I don't know. I'm sure it is, but normally that wouldn't be a sign I would look for. If a person was really in pain, their eyes dilated is not a sign I would look for.
But if it was, though?
I mean, it could. It's not. You can't put anything past because I don't know what your body's gonna do.
Right.
If you're in pain and your body, everybody's body's gonna signal pain in a different way. And depending on who you are or what medicines you take every day, it could be. Right. But different disease processes do different things. So, you really have to take account and look at everybody as a whole. Okay, whether they have this, and this, and maybe this is why her eyes are dilated, not because she's taking something.
Right.
It could be because this is what she has going on, or this is her disease process.
Right.
It's not because of something that she's on. But you got to know that.
Right.
You got to pay attention. So if I come in there and you come to medical, I need to read your file to see what you have going on, because it could be something serious that I'm missing, or that somebody else is missing. Right.
Have you ever came across a case like that to where a nurse or somebody told you that, oh, they lying, and then you found out that they are really hurting?
It could be something simple as like a kidney stone, or because you're not going to get a whole lot of symptoms with a kidney stone, but I'm going to keep coming to medical because my stomach is hurting. But if you're a nurse and I'm getting on your nerve because I keep coming to medical because my stomach hurting, I could totally blow you off because I don't want to be bothered because every day you say your stomach hurting. But what if it really is something? Because it could really just be a kidney stone. And if it's moving, it may not hurt today. But it may hurt the next 3 days. And then the 4th day, it may not hurt. But the 5th day, I may be excruciating to where I need to go. Somebody needs to take me to the hospital. Because that's how kidney stones are. But you could have a nurse that is just not believing you. So, yeah, it can happen. And kidney stones is... Man, kidney stones is rough. I mean, you're doubled over. Kidney stones is really painful. But it's an easy fix. But it's really painful.
Right.
But if I'm not believing you and I think you're just saying that because you want to be in medical, I could totally not believe you.
Right.
And then I can make the situation worse because the kidney stone can turn into kidney stone, can turn into bladder infection, can turn into a whole, you could go into kidneys fail. You go into a whole array just because I got on your nerve because I kept complaining about my stomach.
Right.
Yeah. So you have to be careful.
Imagine how many times that has happened, and how many people that actually, I don't remember who told me this, but it was a young lady. She kept saying that, something I think either her stomach was hurting or her head was hurting, and then they kept saying, oh, nothing's wrong with you, and then the next week she was dead. So it was just like a lot of times that happens. I remember it was a young lady that they found out that she had lupus, and like 2 days later she was dead. They didn't even tell me that I had it.
Yeah, she had something else. I would, if I was a betting person, I would say she had something else other than lupus. You know, I know lupus.
They said her kidney failed. Though.
Right. That's something I'm saying.
They said it happened quick.
Which means, that means it's a whole lot overlooked. You don't, that's the thing about disease.
They just didn't want to admit that part.
That's the thing about disease processes. You don't have a disease one day and then the next day you're dead.
Yes, it's because
that means somewhere a whole long down the line somebody either didn't believe you or it wasn't treated. Almost everything is treatable to where you can have some time. And so if I catch something and you have lupus and then you pass away suddenly, that means you had lupus a way long time ago, but we just didn't call it in time to treat.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Y'all, if you're just now tuning in, it is the Couch Chronicles and it ain't no fucking limits. If you want to support the couch, you can Cash App or PayPal or Chime. tharealjanell. Follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify, Pandora, THA Couch on Facebook and TikTok, Couch Chronicles No Limits on Instagram, and my main YouTube and Instagram, which is tharealjanell. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure that you share the live and follow Officials Sports Bar and Grill on all social media as well. I got more questions.
Yes.
If you got some time. Now, did you ever build any bonds with any inmates?
It's hard not to, especially those that are in medical. I mean, those that are in medical, they're there with you every day. They make sure you eat. They make sure you have your hot tea or coffee, or they, so it's hard to say that, they tell you not to, but it's hard not to, they don't want you to share information. They don't want you to share your family information. It's hard not to, because it makes you feel inhumane. So it's a really thin line, but you do. You just do, because, man, in the mornings, I work night shift, so I work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So the morning time was when I saw the majority of females and for finger sticks. And there was a lady, she wasn't necessarily an older lady, but every morning she would group them before we started finger sticks and she would pray. Every single morning. I wish I knew her name, but I can't remember her name. But like I said, they're people. I could not hand her the finger stick, not hand her the thing and think and have a fear that she's gonna stick me or any of those number of things. But I think that when you treat them like a person, I think a lot of your fear goes away. You know, they recognize that she's not judging me, or she's not judging me on whatever on my rap sheet.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Because the thing about it is they are a whole lot more than what's on their rap sheet. Because that rap sheet could happen to anybody.
Right. That's true.
Anybody, any given moment could have a rap sheet. And so they're way more than their rap sheet. Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what were your feelings and thoughts on the treatment of the staff and officers to the inmates?
I was blessed that I never saw anything where they were mistreating the females.
Right.
So I was, because I don't know if that would be hard for me to just be quiet and act like I didn't see it, or act like it didn't happen, or act like it didn't exist. So I guess I was blessed in that instance where I didn't see it.
Right.
For the most part, there was a couple of male officers, but we had more female officers, and I guess for that I was blessed, because they were like people, and they knew them. You could tell that they knew them, and I won't want to say they built relationships, but you know, they knew. I think it was a case by case, and they knew, you know, they talked to them just like they were people too. You know what I mean? Because, you know, they're with them a lot longer than we are, even as medical. I saw a lot of good with that, where they treated them like people.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, some of those shows you see on TV where they're just horrible. You know, and so I'm thankful I didn't see anything like that.
I'm thankful you didn't.
Yeah.
Because I had to deal with that shit.
I mean, you know, and at the time, you know, they had that one building that's separate for the ladies that are under 18.
Right.
Like, I was blessed. It was only 2 at the time.
Right.
Only 2.
Oh, well, you probably don't remember.
No. But it was only 2.
Right.
And so, you know, I mean, but you learn a lot. You learn the only lady that's on death row, and you learn, like, I always felt like that was funny to me. I was like, why does the whole world gotta shut down when she moves? If she goes to get her hair done, or if she has to come to medical break. So the whole jail stops when she goes in motion. I was like,
you guys, she's coming death row. Death row.
Yes.
Death row.
And you know, I'd be like,
damn, what the fuck?
Yes.
I'm trying to get my canteen.
Right.
Now canteen gotta shut down
and so
till she
even
done.
But even when she comes into medical, even if you are a nurse, like, I can remember being in a room with the inmate, and I don't know what we were doing. It wasn't anything difficult. But when she moved, they locked me in. All the rooms shut, all the rooms lock until she stops moving. So whatever she goes to medical for, everybody is locked in their place until she goes back.
Damn, Brenda.
Yeah.
Shit.
And I was just like, wow.
Yeah, I used to wonder that too. I used to be like, now, do they think she about to kill all of us?
She gonna kill everybody.
I mean, because
she
just
one
been,
person.
They think because she just been locked up 24/7, 32/6 that she about to just come out and kill the first person that she see. I mean, because that's how they act.
But yeah, that's how it's like. I mean, and I wouldn't have known that. I was like, what is going on? You know, the first time it happens, you're like, what is going on? Oh, she's moved. I mean, is something gonna happen? I was like,
right.
But that's just me not knowing.
Right.
You know, I was like, oh wow.
That's hilarious.
I always thought, I feel like that's special treatment.
Yeah, it is.
No, like I do. I don't feel like that's not. I don't feel like
a punishment.
No, it's
that
not
was
a punishment.
special. That's royalty. Like that's
So
that's what that is.
I feel like that's backwards. I don't feel like that's a punishment for her at all. Because she's like, as soon as I move,
I'm making everything stop.
Everything,
okay, Beyonce,
right? Everything stops moving because I'm coming through. So I feel like that's not. I don't feel like that's not like a punishment. I feel like, oh, and I got 6 guards with me. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like she's a boss.
Yeah. So I was like, well, that's not really.
That was some boss shit. Okay, I'm about to move on this. Matter of fact, it ain't even my hour to move. It ain't. I'm supposed to be moving at nighttime or whenever y'all not around. But no, I'm gonna move in the daytime.
Oh yeah, she moves in the daytime.
Yeah,
I've seen her move in the daytime. Before I took over, before I worked there as a, part of the DLC, when I did agency and work days. No, she'll move during the daytime, but it's just like, why everybody got to stop because she want to go get her hair done? But
they should have. They talking about. Oh, she's on the yard now. They said Brenda's on the yard now.
Oh wow.
Hey,
Ooh.
she ain't got that special privilege no more. I'm sure. I wonder how her cell is. Does she get a cellmate, or y'all give me more details on that?
I know. I wonder too.
Right.
They said yes.
What?
Oh wow.
Oh shit. Okay. Now, do you feel like the medical system provided the things that the ladies needed for them?
Yeah, we were. As far as like meds, like it's like a mini hospital. Really, as far as like supplies, like we were never like out of supplies or things like that, medicines. But what you learn is that, like, take for instance, let me give an example. Okay, like take for instance gabapentin.
Right.
Gabapentin is for
that's what I was saying, rods.
Okay, well that's nothing in my normal world. But in that world, you have to count them. And I'm like, why are we counting gabapentin?
Because they will get fucked up on them rides.
And so
they gonna be like, girl, you got Rodney?
Right.
I'm coming to get Rodney. They said, I heard she had to go to C3. Oh, okay, that's where she need to be, for sure. Yeah, Rodney wasn't no joke.
So you learn, like, some of the pills, like, you're like, why are we counting these things?
Did they make y'all count Indocents? Them greeny weenies used to get me fucked up. I used to be like, nah, this is the only thing that held my foot. It held my foot so much, I used to take like 20 of them at a time.
Wow.
Because I was like, I was in so much pain.
Wow.
And they was telling me nothing was wrong with me, so I just knew that I was in pain, and I was just trying to stop it.
Wow.
So I would take, and people used to be like, damn, Janelle is messed up. Yeah, but I be chilling, minding my business, not talking to nobody. But they knew, I'm in the microwave. When she said it like that, she on the medicines. Okay, yes, so I get that. Do you think the system is misleading?
As far as employees?
Employees, inmates.
I think it's misleading for employees because they don't give you enough to tell you what to expect. And a lot of it is like learning on the job. You don't learn till you go through it.
Right.
You don't learn till you go through it. They can tell you some stuff, but the thing about it is the people that are training you are not medical. They're just DLC training. They're not medical training you. So they're not telling you this is what you're going to see. They're going to tell you this is what you're going to see, maybe to keep you safe, or you may see this. Never go here without an officer, or never do this without an orderly. They may tell you that, but as far as training you as far as nursing, you don't learn that till you get up there. Really, you don't learn it till you get up there. Yeah.
Damn, that's fucked up. Have you ever had to you already said yeah. Have you ever been put in a situation where you felt like it goes against who you are or what you believed in?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Has anybody ever been in real pain or sick and you had to tell them to go away, or?
Yeah. Yeah. Where you can only give so much, and you knew it wasn't enough to take the pain away.
Right.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
Sometimes that's heartbreaking because, it's like that on both sides. I've experienced that on both sides to where when what you're doing is not enough, it's me. I'm a sap, so that's hard. It's like you can't fix them, and that's your job. Is to fix them, and you can't. So it's a hard pill to swallow to watch somebody and you being a nurse and you can't fix, even if you know what they need to fix it, because sometimes you know what they need to fix, but that doesn't mean the doctor's going to order it. It doesn't mean you're going to get it. It doesn't mean you're going to get it for them. And you have to go other routes, and you have to try everything that you know. You have to try other things to soothe them, to take their mind away, to do, whatever you can to try to ease. Because sometimes when you're in so much pain, but if I take your mind away from the pain, it won't bother you as much. But when you focus on that pain, it's hardly nothing you can do but to try to soothe that pain.
Right.
But yeah, that's probably the hardest thing about nursing is because your role is to want to fix everybody.
Right.
Especially when you've been in it a long time. You want to fix everybody, but it's not. It's sometimes some things is not for you to fix.
Or you just wasn't allowed to.
Right.
I mean, it's
or
not
that.
Right.
Or that. It can be that. It can be somebody that's really I've taken Norco for all this time and now it's not working anymore.
Right.
The doctor's not giving you anything else. Because he feels like you're addicted. So guess what? He's not going to prescribe you anything else.
Right.
But now you really are hurting. And so now what do we do?
Right.
And that's hard. That's hard as a nurse.
Well, whoever got to get those narcos was lucky as fuck. 'Cause they literally was like, I'm talking about, I had a bruise from under my ass cheek all the way to my ankle. You know what they told me? Your girlfriend's beating you up. I said, well, my whole body is hurting. And then this bruise came out of nowhere. Oh, no, it's your girlfriend. You're good.
Wow.
It says, being in a medical period is hard on all sides because sometimes the help you give is not enough, but you're limited on certain care you can give, or in conditions is worse than what you can give comfort to. Has a combat medic. I think she meant to say as a combat medic.
Yes.
I experienced that.
Yes, I bet she did.
Yeah.
You're
talking about I bet she did.
Man, God bless her.
Seriously.
As a combat nurse.
Yeah.
Was she in the military?
Yes.
Yes. God bless you. Man.
I have a few more questions and then we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
One of my next questions is, have you ever had to cover up somebody's death?
No. Thank God, no. That's just something I couldn't do.
Right.
That's unethical for me.
Yeah.
So even if it costs me my job, I'm not going to cover it up.
Right.
It would just have to cost me my job.
Right. Have you ever witnessed or been around a death that happened on the yard that maybe was told to you it was something different than what it was?
I mean, yeah. I mean, the one that I told you about, I would say the good thing for me was I wasn't on the yard when it happened. I wasn't there.
So
I came in hours.
I do want to talk about it because
I came in hours
some
later.
people didn't get a chance to hear you the last time.
Yeah.
So can you go ahead and tell them what we spoke about the last time?
And what's her name? Tell me.
Amber.
I came in the next shift because I believe that happened early. I believe that happened in the morning, and I came in that night. But just from what I was told, what happened, that's not. I mean, from what I know, I can only speak what I know. So from what I was told, how she did what she did, just being a person, even just being a regular person, even not being a nurse, it's not logical. It's just, to me, it's not logical that happened. Right. It doesn't make sense that's how that happened.
Right.
And me knowing just a little bit of background about that's not possible.
Right.
And that's, everybody has their opinion, and that's mine. I don't believe it.
Right. So you don't believe at all that she killed herself?
No. Just me knowing. I learned about the lawsuit, and I learned about just different things that you learn. Or, I had a chance to give her meds one time, more than one time. But just knowing, that's just not something I believe. That's just not something I believe she did.
Why do you think that they said that? Like, why do you think they're trying to cover it up? Because that's what it is. It's a cover-up.
And that's a good question. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. Well, who's to gain?
Right.
Is my question. So I feel like when something like that happens, it's deeper than that person. And I feel like one day we'll find the truth out. and it will help somebody else.
Right.
Because, you know, even in prison, nobody dies. Nobody dies for anything. It's not like she died in vain.
Right. That's
you
true.
know, and I still feel that we're still human. So whether she was in there or not, she still was a person.
Right.
She still was a person. Even whether she was guilty or not, she still was a person. Mm-hmm. And I still don't believe. I just don't.
Right.
But that's my.
Did they tell her family immediately after it happened?
That one I don't know.
I
don't know.
I heard they didn't know at first.
Really?
That somebody had to call and tell them.
Wow.
An inmate did.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's sad.
So that also
but
leads
that one
me to believe.
That one I don't know.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, there's different protocols on the outside. I don't know if you have to go through so many different channels because of the way. Let's say it like this: you have to go through so many different channels because of the way it was told that it happened. Mm-hmm. So that makes the protocols different.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's not like she died in medical.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like she had a heart attack.
Right.
To where within that hour we would call the family.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So if a death like that is supposedly suspicious, it's a whole different set of protocols. Everything's different protocol.
Right. Did they immediately think it was suspicious though?
And so, good question. That was really, really hush-hush. Mm-hmm. And so nobody in medical, we probably learned more from other inmates than what we did from anybody telling us.
But wouldn't you think that they would not keep y'all in the dark, like they will, like as far as like, because y'all the same team?
Supposedly. But I think medical is a team on its own. Mm. Medical is always a team on its own. Medical is a separate team than the officers are. Mm-hmm. Because we think one way and they think another way. Mm-hmm. They think, I don't want to take her to the yard. I'm tired of her stomach hurting. And we think, well, that's okay. I'm going to come to her. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take my nursing bag and I'm going to go to there. Can you let me in her cell so I can see if she's okay? They may not want to because they may be tired of going up there. Mm-hmm. So we think different. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It's different. It's a different path. But like I said, you have to have a calling to be a nurse that cares regardless of the work you're doing. Mm-hmm. You have to have a caring spirit.
Right.
And it has to be more than just about $1.
Right.
So to me, it didn't matter that I was making less. Mm-hmm. It mattered that was where I was called to be at that time.
Right. What do you feel like, or what do you feel that Maple Bassett did to your mind, body, and spirit? Or maybe it didn't do anything.
No, it gave me a different outlook on life. Mm-hmm. It gave you a different outlook on a person. Mm-hmm. That no matter what they did, I'm in this cell for all day. Mm-hmm. And I can't move unless somebody tells me to move. Right. And I can't eat until they tell me it's time for me to eat. And it's just, you know, especially those that are innocent. This is my thing. Mm-hmm. This is something I want to say. And it's nursing related, but it's not. Right. Because this was my hang up. I have Jane, Jill, and Joan. And Jane is from Oklahoma County. This one is from Cleveland County. And this one may be from, I don't know, Grady County, whatever. They all committed the same crime. But I can promise you they're not all going to get the same time.
Exactly.
And that still, at this moment, I do not understand. Mm-hmm. Same crime, different county, different time. Mm-hmm. Why? Right. And I can't tell you that, and I'm telling you that because I saw it. Mm-hmm. Why? Why is it different? Mm-hmm. Why is it that you bet not go to jail in Cleveland County? Or you bet not go to jail in Tulsa? Because you're going to get more time.
Yeah. That's true.
And I just, nobody would explain that to me.
Was it a color difference or was it just a county difference?
I think it's more of a county difference than it is a color difference, for real. I really do. Mm-hmm. You could, I mean, and you have that too to compound it, but I promise you, I think it's a county difference.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think it's a county difference. I could be wrong, but from what I saw, that I think it was different. And you're just like, oh, and then you look and you're like, oh, they got 10 years. Oh, they were in this such and such county.
And you can already tell.
You can already tell. Yeah.
Do you think it's a way that we could change that, maybe?
I don't, you know what? We as a people, we don't realize how much voice we have. We don't realize that it's really not so much the people that we put in higher offices. It really is the people in lower offices.
Right.
It's not so much the governor. It's the judge.
Right. And it is. Because that's where it starts.
It's the
That's
judge.
who's hitting the...
Absolutely. Because the judge has the power to say, even if you're sentenced to whatever, the judge can still change it. The judge has the right to change it at the end of the day. So I would say start with, we need to see who's being elected to judge, who's being elected as our judge, who's being elected to the DA.
Right.
Is the DA giving you more because he needs to further his career? Is he giving you more time because of that? Is he charging you with more and asking for more time because he needs this on his resume? Has anybody thought about that?
Come on, Nicole.
That's my middle name.
Oh, you hear? I don't even know how it came out, too.
How did you came up with that? That's my middle name.
Girl, because you was preaching.
But I'm just saying, we have more power than what we think. We have more power than what we think.
Tippy Nicole.
Yep, that's it. Yeah. But I just, this is the second time where I've had a platform to speak. And I just don't,
you know what it is? And I know I'm about to blow your mind. Because sometimes I feel like spirits talk through me. And I'm telling you, I don't know how that came out.
Me neither.
I was like, what? When it came out, I was like, what the hell?
Where are we
I
going
ain't
with
that
that
drunk
one?
now.
But yeah,
Shit.
that's a. We have to have a sit down couch about that. About that. How do we really change things? We all have to figure out how to climb the mountain together. If I'm climbing the mountain and all I just want to do is get to the top by myself, then I'm going to be at the top by myself.
Right.
But if I get halfway through the top and I pull down my hand to lift you up, to come up there with me, we'll all get there at the same time.
That's some real shit.
Yeah.
That's some real shit. Damn.
Yeah. We have to care enough to want to make a change. That's the thing. Whether they're in DOC or whether or not, we have to care enough to want to do better. It's kind of like saying we want to build them a new jail, but you got this group of people who are mad about it. But do you feel like whatever they did deserves them not to be treated as a human being? They still deserve to be treated as so you're saying that you don't feel that they deserve clean water? Or you don't feel like they deserve, or if I go in there and it's 59 degrees, you don't think that they deserve a blanket?
Right.
Or you don't think that they deserve clean clothes because of whatever it is they did? So we're just so are we an inhumane country? Because that's how we feel. Because that's how they feel. That's how they feel. They feel like it's just nobody, And it's not that I don't feel like you should have to pay for your crime. Yes. But I still can pay for my crime and still be treated as a human being.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And if I'm sick, I still deserve to be treated. I still don't deserve to be talked to like I'm nothing just because I committed a crime. Because I always say at the end of the day, who am I to judge? I'm not your judge.
Exactly.
I'm not a judge.
That's
I'm not
real.
the judge,
That's real.
Yep.
Now, my last question is, if you can change one thing about the system, what would you change?
Man, one thing. have an idea that's in my head. If you were doing a training, and I was training you on how you're going to treat the prisoners, and this was part of the training. This is part of the training. If I had to, not even 24 hours, but if I had to put you in that cell for, let's just say, so many hours, let's just say 8. I wonder if you were in that cell for 8 hours as part of your training, would you have a different outlook on life? I have no access to nothing. I don't have nothing but those 4 walls. And let's just say I gotta go to the bathroom or whatever it is. I need something that's not in that cell, and I'm calling for the guard.
Oh, they're gonna come when they want to,
and they're not coming. They're not coming. They may come an hour or 2. Would you treat the inmates any different if it was part of your training?
How about 24 hours? Let's take it further.
I was gonna say 24, but I was like, what if you had to put that jumpsuit on, and you had the strip, and you couldn't have a shower till whenever, or you had to eat what was given to you. There's no alternate meal. Would you treat them a little bit different?
Right. That's a good one.
Or if I'm in there, and because probably by hour 3, I probably got a headache. And what if I tell the guard, can I go to medical because I need some Tylenol?
Oh no,
and
you got to fill out a medical request.
And they tell you, no, you got to fill out a medical request.
And that's going to take maybe 5 to 7 business days. How do you
think they would treat you any different if it was them? Would you have a different outlook on how you treated them if it was you?
That's a good one.
I think that's what I would do different.
Yes. I think
that's what I would do different.
I definitely love that. I definitely appreciate you for being on the couch. Again,
You're welcome.
Again, especially for Prison Talk, y'all. Y'all know to come back, and if you have any questions, I will send them to Miss Tiffany. So just send me any other questions that you do have, and she'll be sure to answer them.
I will.
She'll probably even make a little video like, girl,
I know.
Yeah, you know how like on TikTok they be doing like little reply videos?
Right.
Yeah, so I'm going to start making...
show me how.
Yes, I was going to say, I'm going to start making that a normal thing.
Like, yes, I ate a grilled cheese. I ate one.
Yes.
I ate plenty of them.
Yes. Look, we're going to start making that a normal thing on the couch. I see you, Meg Jones, still watching. Shout out to Pirate Ship Radio. Y'all make sure that y'all always tune in every Saturday, because I be trying to be on the ship, too. Just saying.
Right. Just the ship stay in motion.
Yes. So, yes, I definitely appreciate you. Y'all, Prison Talk, again, will be on next month. If you want to talk about your time on the yard, or if you used to work on the yard, hey, I might be able to get one of the old officers that used to work up there.
Yes.
Yeah, she was working up there for some years. And actually, the reason why she stopped working up there is because she didn't realize how corrupt it was until one day she witnessed it herself and didn't realize that she was hanging around the wrong crowd.
Man.
So, and she said the whole time she was snowed. They had her snowed.
Man.
She really believed it.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
Oh, yeah. I was like, girl, I just knew you hated me.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, she was... because the way she treated me was like I was just disgusting. I said, that's fine. Because I'm sneaking this phone into this maximum yard without even... Oh, you don't want to watch me cough and squat? That's fine. I'm putting it in my pocket. And walk straight to my cell with my phone. I told her, I said, you know what? You was the reason why I was able to get my phone back there, because you wouldn't look at me when I was coughing and squatting.
Oh, wow.
She was just like... I was like...
Oh.
Yep, I'm dressed. Didn't do none of that. I was just really trying to find it. And it was ringing, so I was really trying to cough to get rid of the vibrating sound. I was like, yeah, y'all. It's the Couch Chronicles, and there ain't no fucking limits. Make sure you follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify, Pandora, THA Couch on Facebook and TikTok, Couch Chronicles No Limits on Instagram, and my main YouTube and Instagram, which is tharealjanell. Also visit my .com. You can follow the couch through my .com as well, tharealjanell.com. Check out my new single, Shit Talk. Run that motherfucker up. Run up all my music. I will be in Dallas this Sunday performing live. So if you in Dallas, y'all make sure that y'all come through.
I know you gonna put on a show. That's crazy.
Y'all, she just found out when I was here the last time that I could sing.
I know. I came all the way out the
people.
kitchen like, I know good and well.
Thank you, man.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate you.
Welcome.
I know you got to get to work, y'all. And I got another meeting actually because somebody was upset that they couldn't provide the weed for my for the gifts, for the gift bags for the wedding. So they're gonna be providing some stuff.
Yay.
So yeah.
Are you going live for the wedding?
Yes.
Yes.
I am gonna be going live for the
Yes.
wedding. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. The wedding is May 20th. I'm super excited. I do have invitations, so if you haven't already sent me your address, please make sure to send it because I will be sending them within the next few days. Y'all, it's the Couch Chronicles and there ain't no fucking limits. I will see y'all on Monday. Love y'all. Hey. That was a good couch.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I appreciate it.